Let us understand simple strategies to solve polynomial equations when given in factored form. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In case you want to learn directly from me, feel free to send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Here we have 6 questions to solve. We are given polynomial equations in factored form. In the playlist, you will also see many videos based on how do we factor polynomials, how do we use remainder and factor theorem to factor polynomials of higher degrees. But once you factor, you get the form shown here. Then you need to find the solution, which we are going to understand. So these are the 6 questions. Let's begin by solving them one by one. The very first one is x plus 2 times x plus 5 equals to 0. Now 0 times anything will be 0. So that is 0 principle of multiplication. So that means that x plus 2 can be equal to 0, and that gives you one solution, which is x equals to minus 2. On the other hand, we can equate x plus 5 to 0, and that gives you x equals to minus 5. And therefore, we have two solutions to this equation, which are x equals to minus 2 and minus 5. Makes sense, right? So that is the strategy which you have to use to solve factored form of a polynomial equation. Let's take up another example. It is for you to practice. You can always pause the video, do it yourself, and then check the solution. So once again, we have an equation in factored form, x minus 3 times 2x minus 1 equals to 0. Equate x minus 3 equal to 0 and 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Solve both these equations. Here we get x equals to 3, and there we get 2x equals to 1, or x is equal to half. And therefore, the solution is x equals to 3 or half. Is that clear to you, right? So two solutions with these two factors in each case. Now let's continue, take up the next set. Now here we have factored form, but we have three factors in the first case. Let's try to see how do we solve this. We have x times x minus 1 times x plus 3 equal to 0. So that means one solution is x can be equal to 0, clear. Second, we'll equate x minus 1 to 0, and then we get x equals to 1. Third, we'll equate x plus 3 to 0, and we get x equals to minus 3. Makes sense? Combining all of them, we know x can be equal to 0, or it could be 1 or minus 3. You see, so simple, perfect. Apply the same strategy, find the solution of the next equation, which is 9x into x minus 4 whole square equals to 0. You can equate 9x to 0, and that gives you x equals to 0 over 9, which indeed is 0. And then the other solution will be x minus 4 whole square equals to 0, means x minus 4 equals to 0, or x equals to 4. So that gives you a solution which is x is equal to 0 or 4. So there are two solutions for this equation also. Makes sense, right? The last set is right there before you. So we have now x square minus 9 times x square minus 1 equals to 0. Can you tell me how many solutions do you expect from this equation? Well, let's equate and then find the solution. So if I equate x square minus 9 to 0, I get x square equals to 9 x as equal to square root of 9. So some of you will write square root of 9, which is going to be incorrect. Correct will be plus and minus, because the minus when squared will give you positive value, and we get two solutions for here, which is plus minus 3. Makes sense, right? Now let's do the other part. You have understood the idea is when we have x square minus 1 equal to 0, in that case x square is 1, but x is equal to plus minus square root of 1. So x is indeed plus minus 1. Correct? So we have four solutions. So solutions for this equation are x equals to plus minus 3 and plus minus 1. So these are the four solutions for the given equation. Makes sense, right? Last question. Take it as a test problem. Let's rewrite. We have x square minus 4 times x square plus 1 equals to 0. So x square minus 4 equals to 0 will give us x square equals to 4, x equals to square root of 4. Do not forget to write plus and minus, and we have surely two roots. One is plus 2, the other one is minus 2. Now on the other hand, we have x square plus 1 equals to 0 means x square equals to minus 1. Now you can do plus minus square root of minus 1. Now minus 1 square root in the domain of real numbers has no solution. So at this stage it is important to understand when we are solving this equation, what is the domain? So let me write down, let's say domain is all real numbers. X belongs to real numbers, right? In that case, we have no solution for square root of minus 1, right? So we have only two solutions for this equation, which is x equals to plus minus 2. So we will now take up another video where the domain will be complex numbers. In that case, square root of minus 1 will be iota, imaginary number. And then we have two solutions, plus minus I. But for now, we'll keep it in the domain of real numbers. And when the domain is real numbers, x square plus 1 is never 0, right? It is always positive. And therefore, it has no solution. So with that, we have actually solved all these questions. And you see how many solutions we got here? Very easy. The solution was minus 2, which will make this 0, minus 5, which makes that 0. Here the solution 0, 1, and minus 3. Here we had 3 and half, correct. In this case, we had 0 and 4, correct. In this case, we have plus minus 3 square root of 9 and plus minus 1. Here we had plus minus 2, and that was not a real number. So that is how we are easily solving factored form of the polynomial. I'll suggest go through the other videos and understand these factoring techniques, which will help you to solve polynomial equations effectively. Well, in case you want to learn directly from me, feel free to send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Thanks for your valuable suggestions and time. All the best.